Today we will go over taxpayer file, audits, and payroll. Just to give you all a little bit more insight as far as what we're looking for on your taxpayer files, how the audit process go, and how the payroll process goes. What should be included in a taxpayer file and what are we looking for? A taxpayer file is basically the documents that you use to prepare your client's return. A taxpayer file should include any documentation used to prepare a client tax return. Please see the documents listed below. You will have to include the taxpayer's driver's license as well as the spouse if they are filing jointly or if they're filing separately. If they're doing married filing separately, the system still asks for the spouse information, so we will need those documentations as well. The taxpayer social security card should be included as well as the spouse, only if applicable. The dependent social security card or health care card or birth certificate, anything that's showing that that client is able to claim that dependent. If you don't have the social security card, we'll take the birth certificate or health care card, shot record, school record, or anything like that. Something that's showing that that taxpayer does take care of that dependent. For income on W-2, we need that W-2 or that 1099. Whatever is on that W-2 should reflect what's in the software. For self-employed, those Schedule C clients, we need an expense log. The taxpayer should have some type of documentation to show what they made, what their earnings was, or what type of expenses they may have had. Also, in your welcome packet, we did send you over some training documents and forms to get you started. Those are some templates that you can use as well. There is a Schedule C template in there that you can use for those clients that may not have receipts or something like that, so they can fill that documentation out and sign that, and you can use that as proof. The taxpayer should also sign the return in the software. Once that return is signed in the software, then that signature automatically populates on all signature documents. So the taxpayer only has to sign one time. All signature forms, the 8879, the 1040 pages, the fee disclosure pages for the bank product. Again, once that taxpayer signs, all those forms are attached and that signature will be on all those signature documents. If your taxpayer is claiming the education credit, we have to have the 1098-T form. There's no other way that you can claim that credit unless you have that form. That form is required if you're trying to claim that credit. All supporting documents should be clear and legitimate. If you upload your documentation and it's unclear to you, then it would be unclear to us. If we cannot read the documents, if it's dark or it's not a good picture of what you uploaded, you will not get credit for the information. We cannot give you credit for it if we cannot see it to see what's on the documentation. Some alternative documents, the more documents you have, the better. If for those clients that are Schedule C, if they have some type of receipt book or something like that, that would be good as well for proof. Some clients, they log their information on an Excel document. If they have something like that, that's fine as well. But the more proof that you have, the better your files will be, and the least you will have to worry about any funds or anything like that being held from your payroll. Burden of proof and what records should you have. The responsibility to prove entities, deductions, and statements made on a tax return is known as burden of proof. You, the tax preparer, must be able to substantiate expenses to deduct them on the taxpayer's return. You should keep adequate records in your file to provide the taxpayer's expenses. You must have documentary evidence such as receipts, cancelled checks, bills, invoices, or credit card statements to support expenses. Handwritten or typewritten expenses without receipts do not constitute adequate proof. You must keep records obtained from your taxpayer so that you can prepare a complete and accurate income tax return. You should keep copies of all W-2s, 1099s, receipts, cancelled checks, or other proof of payment, and any other records to support any deductions or credits claimed. Good records to keep identified sources of your income, keeping track of your expenses, that will keep you really organized, keeping track of the basis of property, support all items reported on a tax return. How often should taxpayer files be submitted? Taxpayer files are submitted on a daily basis as you process each return. Anytime you have an accepted client return through the Keystone Tax Solution software, you must submit documentation to support the information on that tax return. Again, it's only for your accepted clients that we are looking for these taxpayer files for. Collect data as you submit the clients. If we have not received the information each week before payroll is processed, your payroll will be held. There are no other options that you may have. Your payroll will be held. Once IRS disbursement starts, files are due by each Sunday of the week of payroll. That means by Sunday, you have to submit all your files. After Sunday, we will not accept any more files from you for that week because payroll will be on that following Friday. So be sure that by that Sunday of the week, you have submitted all your payroll. If you I'm sorry, all your taxpayer files. If you have not submitted all your files, you will not get credit for those files until the next week. Again, we will not audit any files after Sunday. Make sure all your files are in by Sunday of that week. The following Friday will be payroll. Once the compliance team has audited your files for that specific week, the next audit will be the following week. Again, taxpayer files will affect your payroll. If you do not have completed taxpayer files, we will hold your payroll until those files are submitted. How to submit taxpayer files. The document manager within the Keystone Tax Solution software is the only way you'll be able to submit files. You will have to scan those documents and upload into that client's return. That way we can go in and we can audit the files on that client. With our cloud-based software, there is a document manager within the software. Therefore, you will be able to scan your taxpayer files directly into the software and we will have immediate access to your files. This gives us immediate access to your information. All files must be clear and legitimate. You can access the document manager from your client search. Beside each client, there is a drop box that says Tools. If you click into there, you will see Scan Documents, and it will take you to the uploading section where you can upload those files directly from your computer to that client's tax return. Or while you're inside the client's return, at the top right hand corner under the client's name, there's a drop box. You can click that drop box and you will also see Scan Documents. So I'll go ahead and show you that really quick. Okay, so from your office client list, beside each client, this drop box that says Scan Documents, click that Scan Documents and you can click upload, and this will take you directly to your computer file where you can upload those documents directly into this client's file. Okay, you can also access it from within the return. So we're going to go into this client's return here. Okay, so at the top right hand where the client's name, there is a drop box. When you click the drop box, you can see Scan Documents there. Click on Scan Documents. It's going to do the same thing, take you directly to the uploading section where you can upload those documents directly into that client's file. Okay, so we're going to move along. What items if what if items are missing from your files? Penalties for not submitting taxpayer files. What if items are missing? Every file you submit should be a completed file. However, if there are items missing, this will affect your payroll. If anything is missing, that means that file is incomplete. Any incomplete files we will hold payroll for. What is the penalty for not submitting a taxpayer file? If you are a contractor with Keystone Tax Solutions in which you use our EFIN, we are still responsible for your clients and hold that liability to your clients that are submitted through the software. Therefore, there are rules that you are strictly enforced and that are strictly enforced and you must comply by these rules. If you do not submit taxpayer files, there is a penalty. Each incomplete file has a penalty of $510. Your payroll will be affected if you do not submit taxpayer files. Furthermore, Your access to the software will be restricted and you will no longer be able to submit any tax return until you submit all required taxpayer files for your client. Again, we will hold $510 of your payroll. That's because if the IRS requests any information about your client, they're going to come to us first as the even holder. If we cannot present those documentations, they will fine us that $510. So we will hold it from your payroll until you submit those documents. We will hold for all missing files. One missing document makes a file incomplete. Keystone Tax Solutions will not take liability for you not submitting your files. We will not be responsible for paying that fine if the IRS audit us. We will hold your payroll for that. Okay? We have shared an audit file with you. So this is what it looks like. This is where you'll be able to go to see what's missing on your clients and the information. Taxpayer audit files tracks all accepted returns that are required. Taxpayer file status will be updated, completed versus incomplete by Keystone Tax Solutions. The compliance team will conduct an audit on your office every week. To update you, we have shared an audit file with you. Once the compliance team has audited your files for that specific week, the next audit will be done the following week. We will not audit your office twice in one week. It is imperative to have your files in now as your clients are being transmitted to ensure that you have all completed files for each taxpayer file. This file is view only. You will not be able to edit on this file. It's only there for you to view only. So you will review this to see what is missing from your files. You will have either a completed or incompleted file. I will show you an example of how it's going to look. So this is how your file will look. You will have the taxpayer name and the additional information that we will have to check off. So for example, with this taxpayer, we're going to say that this taxpayer has two dependents. So if that taxpayer has two dependents, then you should have two verification of proof for that dependent, whether it's a social security card, the health care card, a birth certificate, or something like that. If this client has a W-2, we're going to put an X in this box for W-2 for that client. If that client has some type of self-employment and have their log, we will mark an X here. They have a 1099 form, or if that client is filing Social Security, we will mark an X in that spot, as well as the 1090T. So if that file is complete, we were in a complete here. Okay. So for incomplete file, let's say that this client had dependents but didn't have any information. So we will leave that section blank. We will not put an X in there, and we'll put incomplete here, and on the side it will be notes. So we will type whether you have something missing for the dependent. If it's something for the taxpayer, we will put TP and whatever's missing. If it's dependent, we will put DEP for dependent, and whatever's missing, just whatever information is missing for that dependent. So make sure you're looking at the missing dot section, and you're looking in the notes section to see exactly what is missing from that file. And again, you're only able to view this file. You cannot make any edits on this file. This file is for in-house purposes, for us only, and for you to see what you're missing. Okay? Payroll. When is payday? Payroll is processed on Wednesday of each week, and payday falls on Friday, depending on the individual's bank. Once funds are released from the IRS, payroll is processed the following week for those funds. Payroll is paid in arrears every Friday. For example, if you have a client that is funded and dispersed by the IRS on January the 28th, then the payroll for that taxpayer will be on the next week for February the 8th. So again, payroll is 1 week in arrears. If you have 20 clients to get funded on this week, you will get paid for those 20 clients on next week, depending on your taxpayer files. If you have those 20 clients to get funded and you're missing something for some of those clients, then you will not receive your full payroll. Okay? Things that affect payroll and prep fee. Taxpayer files affect payroll and tax preparers prep fees. Social Security, military, student loans, child support, unemployment conversation, joint returns, bank advances, the pre-acts, and in season. The bank will collect all their fees first before anything is paid out. That means before the bank release any fees to us for preparation, they're going to take the fees out for those loans. So once they get their cut, they will release the funds to us. We will get our percentage, and we'll release the funds to you. Remaining balances will affect your payroll, so please do not forget those of you that did not pay your package in full and you only paid the deposit. We will take our balance out for the package on your first payroll. If there is anything left to disperse to you, we will send you the remaining. If there is not anything left to disperse to you, you can expect a normal payroll that following week. Audit protection and any debts to the IRS. We have no control over your clients owing the IRS. If they owe student loans, child support, anything, any type of federal debt that can take their refund, then if there's nothing left to disperse, then you do not get paid for that. If there are no fees left to disperse, we won't get paid, nor you get paid. So we cannot pay you for any fees that we don't receive due to your clients having their refund taken. Okay? Taxpayer advances and the fees associated with those advances. Refund Advantage will take all of their advance loan fees up front. Refund Advantage will not wait per client. It is up to you to calculate how many loans you have gotten approved for and the total of the fees. No Refund Advantage will take these fees out of whatever prep fees the IRS start to release. So make sure if you're giving out those loans that you're keeping track of those loans and when they were given. You need to keep track of if it was a preseason advance or if it was in season. The fees are here below. For the pre-act advance, it was $79. So for all of your clients that receive that pre-act advance, you will be charged $79 for those clients. So this will also come out of your payroll. For the in-season advance, it is $45. So we've already stated to you guys that you can let your clients know of these fees and you can attach these fees to the prep fee. That way you can ensure that your payroll is not being held due to you offering these loans to your clients because the bank does charge the ERO. Once Refund Advantage have recorded all of their fees, your prep fees will be dispersed as normal. For those who have not given out any loans or very few, this will not affect you as much or at all. But to those of you who gave out many, just know that Refund Advantage will take their fees out first. So just keep in mind when you're offering loans to your client and you're letting them know that there are fees associated with those loans. And also know that no prep fees are taken out of advanced loans. So if your client get funded for that loan, then there's no fees coming out. So we do not pay you any prep fees out of advanced loans. It's only when the client receives their federal refund is when prep fees come out, and that's when you should expect your payroll. Okay? So thank you guys for watching today. If you have any other questions, you can contact us 1-800-504-5170, or you may email us at support@keystonetaxsolutions.com. Thank you.